Hi, thanks so much for joining with me today. I'm in a slightly different location. I'm in my office, and the reason is because this is my Batman corner. In fact, Batman is my favorite superhero. You probably have a favorite superhero. With the last 10 years or so, the superhero movie genre has exploded. And in fact, it's these superheroes, specifically Batman, that causes me to think about what we're talking about today. In service right now, our Pastor Chap is talking about the early church in Acts. And I believe that our good friend Batman has a lot to do with that. The reason is because Batman initially was this lone vigilante. His parents got murdered and he tried to come back and he was going to save the city himself. But he realized as time went on that he was not a bulletproof alien from outer space who could fly around the world super fast, but he needed some help. And so we see actually Batman form a team called the Justice League. He gathered them together, and it was his leadership that helped bring them into the future where they would be able to fight off the enemy invaders. This is what I love about Batman. And it reminds me of this story in Acts. How do Acts and Batman have anything to do with each other? Well, I'm glad you asked. So in Acts chapter 1, we see Jesus literally ascend into heaven, and he's gone. And what happens? Jesus had promised that a helper would come, but they didn't know when, they didn't know what it was going to be like. And so actually there's this waiting period where the disciples, they don't know what's going on. Batman had left. I'm like, what are we going to do? And it was in this period of waiting. There's actually about 10 days. They didn't realize it was going to be 10 days at the time. But 10 days later, the Holy Spirit came, and that's the helper that you and I have that helps guide us through life. But between Jesus and this helper were 10 days of them waiting. And so what they did was they gathered together and they prayed. They gathered together and prayed. Just like Batman gathered together the Justice League to come together to save the world. They gathered together and prayed. Here's a real takeaway that I would like for you to consider. There's two aspects of this gathering together. There's importance of coming together with people who believe what you believe, who will help encourage you and help keep you going on the right track. Sometimes it can be really easy to get discouraged in life. With everything that we're navigating through, it can be easy to just become sad. And the amazing thing is how God designed is when you come together with people, there's an encouragement that happens there. So I would encourage you to come back to church, come back to be around people who love you, who love God, and can say, keep fighting, keep moving on, because staying encouraged is half the battle. Now, the other half of the battle is this cool thing where it says they prayed. Now, you may not know a lot about prayer, but the amazing thing about prayer is you're connecting to the God of the universe. In fact, when you pray, God is actually listening to that and is acting through you as a result of your prayer. Think about how incredible that is. Your prayers, what you think in your head, what you say out loud, literally changes everything around you, heaven and earth. Now, you may say, I don't know if I see my prayers making a difference on a day-to-day. Well, if you start writing your prayers down, start logging, start looking at how prayer is changing you, well, then you realize there is power in change, or there is power in prayer, and you'll start seeing how the prayers you're making are not just changing you, but changing the world around you. There is power in prayer because the God of the universe is on the other end of that conversation. And the disciples recognized this, and so they gathered together, they prayed, and they awaited the Holy Spirit. You have the Holy Spirit available to you. And so this week, as you're navigating through, don't just think of prayer as something like talking in your head. Remember that prayer is connecting to the God of the universe, who is going to both transform you and transform the world around you. Think about that this week. I hope you have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye.